The cause is corruption. The cause is corruption at the absolute highest levels of our societies. And it's being orchestrated by a handful of people who control all the money and therefore all the flow of resources and food, and they control what the governments do. And the plan isn't a good plan, folks. It's not a good plan. What these people have got in mind is not good. You know, I mean, it goes so deep, but basically they've used us. They've used our energy to create the world that they want. They've done it both on a spiritual level by harvesting our energy through ritual and the use of numerology and all of the things that they do, all of the secret ritualistic nature of all of these secret societies. This is ultimately what it's all about. This is what all the sacred geometry that's incorporated into the buildings that are built by the Freemasons and all of these things, these are all done this way for a reason. These are all done as sacred geometry. They're all done to channel energy and to harvest energy. But then on a physical level, they use us building all of this rubbish that they want, all these military bases and these huge oil refineries and all these places to extract all these nutrients from the planet and to completely control the planet, and this huge military machine. And they keep us busy with trinkets. They keep us enslaved to the dollar and enslaved to debt, so that we have to go and build all this stuff for them, because work means money and you've got to have money. Without money, society doesn't function. But all society functions to do is to keep people in work. And all the work that we do is just raping the planet. That's all we're doing. None of it makes any sense at all. And we're all kept on this treadmill. So they've used us, and they've garnered all the technology that they need. And now they've got technology. They've got all this HARP technology. They've got technology, folks, that, I mean, a lot of people would just say that this is impossible, but no, they've got it. Trust me, a lot of the stuff that people would think is just science fiction, they've got. I mean, all of the HARP technology, you can find these bases everywhere. If you go and look on Google Earth and you look around the place, you can locate different HARP installations around the planet. And they use this, and they can control weather, they can control all sorts of things. They can create earthquakes with it, the whole thing. This is all Tesla technology. Nikola Tesla. Google Nikola Tesla. If you've never heard of Nikola Tesla, which I'm sure most people listening to this show have, but just Google some of the things this man did. This man had technology that was absolutely awesome. And he had it way back in the beginning of the last century, way back in the beginning of the 20th century. He had some awesome ideas in the first half of the 20th century. And they've used a lot of that technology to create all these devices and to create all this stuff. So now they've basically got the whole grid set up. They've basically switched it on this month with the level exercise. They've got the whole intelligence. They're probably listening to me as I record this show. You know, they've got the whole thing all plugged in now. It's all happening. So now they don't need us anymore. They've got the planet. That's all they ever really wanted, was control of the whole planet. And they only need enough people left alive to work the machine. So it's up to us whether we let them have that reality or whether we choose to have a better reality. Because that's the choice that we've got, folks. And a lot of people will say, well, look, you know, if they've got all the choice, I mean, this is another argument that I come against. I come up against this all the time. People say, well, look, they've got all the weapons, they control all the governments. If they do everything that you say, why don't they just kill us all? Why don't they just wipe us all out now? They've got the power to do it. Why don't they just do that? But they don't understand. It's also a battle on an energetic level. And a lot of it is a game to them as well. You know, it doesn't work unless we agree. That's how the energy works. It's all about control of the energy. They've got to get you to agree to die. You've got to take the vaccine. You've got to agree to eat all of their poisonous foods. You've got to agree to the eugenics program by not stopping it. They just feed you these poisons and you just eat it. They feed you this genetically modified food so they can genetically modify the human race, and we just accept it. We don't protest about it. We just accept it. So we are agreeing to let them genetically modify us. And people will say, well, now you're going into a duality of us and them. Well, it is kind of an us and them, folks. I guess it's two different polarities of energy, but it's a small group of people, a small group of very psychopathic, very psychotic, very twisted, megalomaniacal people who control pretty well the flow of everything. They're a bloodline, they all intermarry with each other. They've been running the world for the last 5,000 or 6,000 years at least, and basically they've got control of the whole thing now, and they don't need us. They don't need us around anymore. So that's what it's all about, folks. It's about control. It's about control of the people through the control of energy. It's about control of the planet through the control of resources and control of technology. Small group of people, small group of families. And when you see how it's all been done, and you understand how this one hand controls everything, and all of the millions and millions and millions of people around them, beneath them, that built this mechanism for them. They don't need all these people for the mechanism to continue to function. It's almost fully automated now. It just sort of it just keeps itself going, and you only need enough people to basically service the hardware. That's all you really need. And you can just sit there and you can control the entire planet. You know, if you've got this HARP technology, you can control the weather. You can control everything. You've got people completely fed the information that you want them to have by watching this box that you've convinced everybody to get one in their corner. You're a lesser person. You don't have anything until you have a television. And you get a television in their house, and then you just tell them what to think. And you tell them this is what the world's like. And you say this is what you have to do. This is what you have to wear. You have to be like this, or you're just not cool. You're just not part of it. This is what everybody's doing. You've got to do this, or you're not part of everybody. And then the people who control all of this, they give the rest of the world, everybody who's got one of these little boxes in the corner of their lounge room, they feed them their version of reality. And it's nothing like what reality actually is. And most people don't even bother going out and living their lives because there's too much happening on the TV. They're watching all the people on the TV living their lives. But the people on the TV are never sitting down watching TV, are they? Yeah, what are these people doing? Whenever you watch a movie, whenever you go out and do anything, the last thing you see any of these people doing in any of these shows or movies or films is sitting down and watching a television. You're doing that. You're just sitting there, and it's like you're living that life that's on the TV, but you're not. You're just sitting on your couch. And at the end of a film or a movie that you've seen, you feel like you've had this experience, but you haven't really had any experience. You've just been sitting on your backside looking at a screen. That's all you've been doing. And it seemed so real, didn't it? But it wasn't real. None of it is real. What's real is you. And what's real is what's happening outside. What's real is the people on the street around you, your neighbours. These people are all just like you. They are you. We are all each other. We're having all of this taken away from us. And we've constructed these societies that are completely meaningless and completely fractured. All of the crime on the streets, the corrupt education system, the corruption in governments that everybody knows is there, and it just continues. All of the little side issues of people complaining about this and protesting about that and all of these issues, and people always fail to see that it's all the one issue. All of the fighting that goes on, all of the arguments that go on in the local pub or in your local building site, even the arguments that go on in the news forums and on the YouTube videos and everywhere, the arguments that go on everywhere. This is all part of this psychic parasite that we refuse to look at ourselves. We refuse to understand ourselves, so we project it onto someone else, and we make them deal with it. It's a strange trait. But we have a chance to fix this. We have a chance to fix this situation if we can just see the power and the potential that we have to just address the issue.